Joining us now to discuss the breaking news out of Russia today, retired Marine Corps intelligence officer and CEO of Global Risk Intelligence and Planning, Hal Kempfer. Hal, always good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Great to see you, Natasha.
So, Hal, as you're watching this unfold today, what happened here? Because Prigozhin makes it within 120 miles of Moscow. He stops and now seems to be going safely to Belarus with no charges against him. Do you trust the Kremlin when they say this?
Natasha, everyone's scratching their head right now. We're not quite sure what happened. It looked like there was a march on the Kremlin. You know, he had that road march going north. He took a couple of major cities, Rostov-on, which is the southern region headquarters. That is not an insubstantial place to take. That's their major military headquarters for operations in Ukraine. And then a major transportation hub of Voronezh up north. So he did uncover those or take those, and then he turned around and stopped. Then he said something kind of telling. He said, and we're sending our troops back to their camps as planned. What plan? That's what everybody's wondering. What is exactly going on here? And as of right now, we don't know where Prigozhin is. We don't know where Putin is. We don't know where Defense Minister Shoigu is, and we don't know where General Gerasimov are. And that's what we just don't know. And everybody's wondering what exactly did happen here? What plan and whose plan was this entire show or whatever that we saw today?
Interesting. I mean, NewsNation contributor and former CIA and FBI Special Agent Tracy Walder was on the show earlier tonight. She expressed concern on the show over what comes next from Putin. Let's listen to quickly to what she said.
I am concerned that Putin is going to become more violent, more aggressive, and rule with even more of an iron fist than he really has in the past, because he sees now that he really, really needs to clamp down on this.
A lot is being made tonight about a weakened Putin. Do you think that Putin is more dangerous when embarrassed?
Well, Natasha, a wounded animal can be much more dangerous. Let's just put it that way. He may feel the need to compensate. Obviously, he is diminished in the eyes of capitals around the world. A lot of what happened today, surprisingly, did make it on state television. So this was not a secret as to what was happening. Unlike some things in the past where it's obviously been omitted, this made it out. And then, of course, yesterday, Prigozhin's rant, for lack of a better term, actually was carried on state media, and that was because of a hack. So the Russian people have had a chance to see this. You know, all told, assuming he's, I don't know what his status is right now, but assuming he comes back to Moscow, he's going to feel a tremendous need to reassert authority, to reassert at least the impression that he's in control. And that could be very dangerous.
You know, I do want to pick up on something that you were mentioning earlier. We had Major General Enyart on the show. He was speaking to a theory right now that this was a planned sham, a show between Prigozhin and Putin and the president of Belarus today. Do you believe that? And what would be the intention of putting on a show like that today?
Well, that's what we're all asking, is what would be the intent? What I will say is, it looked very organized. It looked well planned, well in advance. This was not something they just pulled together. Obviously, just the logistics to put all the troops in the Wagner troops on Russian soil with all the vehicles and everything else they need. That is something that probably was in the works for quite some time, maybe weeks, perhaps months, which says that maybe some of the reasons we think that Prigozhin's moves were triggered by this may not have been the actual trigger. This could have been something they thought about in advance, but just the orchestration of it really kind of got everybody's attention. So I don't rule anything out right now, but I will say that what we're running with is very incomplete information. And just looking at, you know, the superficial explanation of what happened is probably not the answer.
All right, Hal Kempfer, always appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.